Hi guys, my name is Jasmine and I am your small town gray witch here to talk to you about shadow work. Now, shadow work is kind of a main practice of witchcraft. I honestly don't know a witch who doesn't do shadow work. However, I know a lot of them who do it extensively. So, what is shadow work? What is your shadow? Well, let's talk about it. So, your shadow is everything that you are subconsciously being. So, it's the part of you that is in your subconscious. This is usually suppressed or it is undiscovered, which means you don't know it yet. Or it could even be something you've personally disowned about yourself. It is usually considered the dark aspect, aka the shadow, because it is the hidden part. It's usually where we put things that we don't necessarily want to deal with. But there are a lot of good or even neutral things back there. So, how do we get in touch with that? Now, when we're talking about the subconscious, I know that we're unconsciously aware of the subconscious. um, but really, it's harder than you think, which is why witches tend to do it a lot. When it comes to me personally, I can recommend journaling because it seems that you kind of go on a tangent in journaling and then you realize things that you weren't quite aware of. I can suggest listening to music or meditating. Meditating is a great way for us to unlock that subconscious concept. It does take practice and it's hard. I do have a grounding meditation on my channel just to kind of help you guys with the way I do it. So if you like grounding or listening to guided meditations, that's a resource to you that I'm trying to provide. But there's like a bajillion meditations out there. So just search into YouTube guided meditation, grounding meditation, guided grounded meditation, um, guided meditation to pretty much anything, guided meditation to unlock shadow self, guided meditation to connect with the divine, guided meditations up the wazoo. So honestly, meditation it's out there, so it's not available to you. If you're watching this video, guided meditations are available to you. So, you can do meditation, you can do artistry, or like painting, drawing, whatnot. You can go through therapy. Note that shadow work is not a replacement for professional healthcare. So if you need to seek out a therapist or something like that because stuff is getting a little too overwhelming for you, there is no shame in that game. The part of shadow work that is best is that you are doing this for you, so therefore only you can judge you. You don't have to tell anybody about your shadow work. You don't have to tell anybody about anything that you're doing if you don't want to. That's kind of the point, is that this is for you. It's so you can become balanced. Now, through shadow work, a lot of women are trying to heal what is known as a witch wound, which is why I think a lot of people focus on the witch wound. And a witch wound is the wound that a witch carries when it comes to the feelings of feeling wrong or guilty or unholy for searching out a witchcraft spiritual practice. A lot of us come from the church, and that can cause a lot of emotional issues when it comes to wanting to turn to this spiritual practice. I have a book, I think it's on my, actually might be right here. I think it's right. Yep. Okay, so if you are coming from the church and this book is woman based. If you are coming from the church, a good book that helps women heal that kind of concept and is a really great shadow work book, has shadow work prompts and things like that, is The Holy Wild. It's literally called The Holy Wild. Not speak. The Holy Wild. A Heathen Bible for the Untamed Woman by Danielle Dulski. So if you need something that's going to give you prompts and things like that to try to help you work through some shit, this is a good book to start working. If you're not comfortable being in a group or something like that, that is a really great book. If you're not comfortable going into a group, then some of the other things you can do is just get a dollar journal from the Dollar Tree and work like that. I have some prompts here to start you off with, so let's go over those. The first prompt is make a complete list of all fears, no matter how big or small that list is, and no matter how big or small the fears are. Doesn't matter. Just make a list of each and every fear that you have. Okay? Write all of your desires, and I mean all of your desires, even if it's something. So I know on social media it's those weird cakes where they say, like, I forget what they say, but it's a don't judge me cake, and they stick like their kid crush in a stick with the picture of the kid crush, and usually they're like really stupid, like the fox from Zootopia or the sharks from Fishtail or whatever it is, or Finding Nemo, or Harry Potter, or it could be really anything. It could be anything. And they're like, don't judge me, but, or whatever, and they stick the picture in there saying that was their kid crush. So we've all been stupid cringy. We are always stupid cringy. Let your freak flag fly. If you want chocolate or a bath of chocolate, put it down. If you want a house, put it down. If you wanted kids, put it down. If you want your toes painted pink, put them down. Write the list of every single desire, no matter how stupid, no matter how big, no matter how small. Identify an issue you are avoiding. So I think there's even if it's just, I don't want to get out of bed today and wash my hair, that's an issue I'm avoiding. So you can start with these by digging small, like I'm avoiding the dishes, or I'm avoiding washing my hair, or I'm avoiding this, that, the other thing. But you can try to think about the big things you're avoiding too. So try to dig deep, which is the point of shadow work, is digging deep. Write down beliefs and patterns. So what are your beliefs? What do you believe in? Do you believe in yourself? What spiritual beliefs you have? Yes. Write those down too. But what are the beliefs you have about yourself? In whatever that movie is. What is that movie called? Inside Out. Sorry. In Inside Out 2, Riley has the core beliefs of herself, and they go up and they make up the core of her. What are your core beliefs about yourself, and why do you have those? What about the beliefs you have about other people or other situations around you? What about those? What's holding you back? I want you to take one of those fears that we wrote down, and I want you to write it as a mantra. So turn it into something good. So if I'm afraid of birds because I don't like them, but it's like a dislike. I'm going to say birds are creatures of flight and freedom. I am a creature of flight and freedom. And that's a mantra that's going to help me with the fear of birds. Obviously, that's a very, for me, it's shallow. I'm not petrified of birds. I just don't like them. So, not shallow for me. I mean, is shallow for me. Maybe not shallow for you. Maybe you're petrified of birds because you had a really bad experience. I don't know. What a bee sting to one is a life-threatening issue to another. The other thing I want you to think about when you're writing these is how you're feeling as you're writing these. Are you having a hard time with this? Does it feel super easy? Does it feel super thoughtful? Does it feel shallow to you? Are you just like, yeah, that's the answer? Or are you having a hard time pulling these answers out? That's a good place to get started. The other thing is, if you do find that you work better in groups and classes and things like that, there is a website that I started at. Now, she doesn't know I'm promoting her. I just like promoting things that I think are good. And the lunarhearthcauldron.com. I'll link it in the description. I'll put the link down in the description. Her name is Sissy. She's the main lady who runs the Lunar Hearth Cauldron. And she is a shadow working witch. Like, that is her main thing. She's teaching how to do real magic. And she's this shadow working witch. She's a journal witch. So if you absolutely despise journaling, maybe do maybe you can do a video journal or a typing journal instead of a writing down journal. But she is a journaling witch, so figure out how you like to journal before you massively jump into her thing. Okay? But I will link her description, or I'll link her website down in the description. Because if you work better in a group or with someone saying, hey, this is your task with like assignments almost, she's the witch you're going to go to. Yes, most of her things have a charge. They are not unreasonable. They are not $200. And most of it goes to a charity that she's into. So, I got to give it to her. If you're working for a charity and you're trying your best and doing the things to make your house run and asking what you can, then you're all right in my book. So go support her and whatever craziness she's dreamt up with if you need that kind of group. That's the one person that I can really say is the shadow working witch. And her groups can be on live, or she does tape them, and I think live is a little better. She has a chat room. She has this, that, and the other thing. She has a new broom section for all you new brooms to learn different things. She is just kind of everywhere, and it's kind of awesome, but it is a lot. So take it stride by stride with her. One thing at a time. You don't have to be in every single group, in every single thing, in every single whatnot. Okay? You'll have plenty of time to taste all of the cupcakes. You don't need to eat all of her cupcakes right away. Okay? So, that's kind of the concept of shadow work, is digging into those spots that aren't so pretty. There are some spells that I want to teach that how to work through some shadows. Cord cuttings are amazing. I have a burial spell where it's an emotional burial for someone. Things that aren't so pretty that allow you to work with your shadow self. And it's hard. It's hard. Especially if you have a trauma-based past. It's gonna be hard. we want to do balanced magic where our intentions and desires are gone through thoroughly or produced thoroughly or goes without a hitch. So balanced witches make balanced magic. Okay? So get your journals, go to the Dollar Tree. They're not that expensive. Get a composition notebook. Get a couple pens that you really like. Other ways to do shadow work, it could be sitting by a fire and staring into it. Could be dancing around your kitchen. It could be meditating. It could be painting or drawing. It could be sculpting. Most of the time, it's some kind of artsy-fartsy thing. Or, because it's more, so your logical brain is going to do logical things. Your emotional brain is going to do the arts. Emotional people do arts. So when you're trying to tap into your emotion, arts tend to lead the way. It doesn't mean that they're the only way to tap into your emotions and your feelings and your thoughts and your compass. But they do tend to be the thing that does. Everybody's different though. So it wouldn't surprise me if someone was like, I do it through math. Whatever floats your boat. But try one thing. If it doesn't work, try it at least 3 times. And then if that still doesn't work for you, try something else. And then try something else. Whatever gets you to that place that you can release. And if you need to scream, find a spot that you don't have neighbors around you because they're going to think you're dying. Okay? Go to the woods. And while you're doing all of this, this is why I brought up the grounding meditation. If you're having a really hard time, 1, go to therapy. Seriously, go to therapy. But 2, grounding meditations, taking a walk in the woods, these things are self-care as well. So make sure you're taking care of yourself if you're really doing deep dives into your subconscious, okay? So, balance switches, do balanced magic, which is why we do shadow work, okay? And the best of all, instead of sitting here and listening to me, go do magic. Bye, guys.